no, it started. All right. Oh, okay. It seems to be working. How does it sound back? Oh, okay. It seems to be working. How does it sound back? Looks like I need to adjust the vertical stream. I'm not sure how I'm meant to do that. I suppose, well, that's what the live stream test is for, huh? YouTube vertical stream adjustment. Hmm. Oh, okay. So I guess from what I'm looking at, the vertical and horizontal stream seems to... Oh, what's the word? Just cuts off the sides, doesn't actually allow you to adjust it. I mean, there's no one watching right now anyway, so it doesn't really matter. But, that's fine. It can be dealt with. I don't know, we'll see. I mean, I wasn't really expecting anyone to actually join this stream. So I'm just gonna stick to what my original plan was, which was do the test stream, throw on some music, and do some sketches of Grung, as done in the... not as done, as voted in the polls. The polls which was devastated on straw poll entirely in Grung's favour. I've said it in like a post or two on everywhere else, but I do intend to draw all the characters at some point. Probably, hey, maybe even all tonight, but just, I guess I just wanted direction. Anyway, music! Oh, that's loud. Down. Many apologies in advance. This is a Destiny playlist. I'm very sorry. Very tragic. I know. Recovering Destiny fan. Well, I say recovering, I never stopped playing. Tragic. But, hopefully that's not too loud. I'll deafen myself for a moment to, I'll turn on the stream preview I got up so I can hear how that sounds with the music. I'll deafen myself for a moment to, I'll turn on the stream preview I got up. And realizing now it might be a little bit difficult to hear with the music playing in real life and in the background. Realizing now it might be a little bit difficult to hear with the music playing in real life and in the background. I'm not sure if that is echoing I'm hearing. I'm not sure if that's like echoing on the page. Echoing I'm hearing. I'm not sure if that's like echoing on the page. It might be. So I had to mute for a second there so I could cough. Let's see. Audio might be a little bit odd because I'm walking around the room. This quite large room, which includes my 3D printer and a fan. Close this blind. No one needs to see my ugly mug through the window. Print's come along nice. Very nice even. Hopefully it'll done before I have to go to sleep. Might even grab a celebratory drink of Coca-Cola. Might even grab a celebratory drink of drinking is for the weekends and when I'm depressed. Coca-Cola. Drinking is for the weekends and when I'm depressed. Oh, I'm foolish. I could just like let the music play, then pause it, then listen to the obviously delayed soundtrack. Okay, I'll do that for a moment. Oh, I'm foolish. I could just like let the music play, then pause it, then listen to the obviously delayed soundtrack. Okay, I'll do that for a moment. Okay. Okay. Now, what on earth is that delay? I guess I'll never know. Anyway, music back on, but it's a lot quieter than I thought it was. Oh, I guess because I had it down low. Okay. Anyway, music back on, but it's a lot quieter than I thought it was. Friggin' idiot I am. The delay is from me listening back to the music, and it's picking up all desktop audio. Oh, friggin' idiot I am. The delay is from me listening back to the music, and it's picking up all desktop audio. Oh, friggin' idiot I am. Alright, well, I guess I'll just have to assume that the music isn't too loud. I've got the levels up. Levels don't seem to be too bad at the minute. Love this song. Love to listen to it and but just listen to it, I guess. I don't... What do you want from me? Alright. Grung, we're doing grung. Now grung is a character from a recent D&D campaign I had with a group of friends. I say character, people who know D&D will probably know very well that grung is a race, not a singular character. And that was the joke of this character in the campaign. He wasn't just a grung, he was grung. His name was grung. He didn't know how to speak very much. So they just sort of, you know, he just sort of like followed. He was just happy to be here, to be honest. And weirdly enough, the strongest character in the entire fucking campaign. Oh, I shouldn't swear. Swearing is not too pristine of an image to share. But I will say it was quite shocking the way Grung was like just demolishing pretty much everything we came across. It was quite goofy. I mean, I've already probably said that. I don't know. I lose track of things I say quite easily. But the amount of times where we would be faced with a situation that was like, okay, everyone's down, we're basically destroyed, it's nigh unwinnable, and then we just get Grung in. It's like, okay, this guy, gonna terrorist them from rim. And all of a sudden, Grung just appears, says, Booker? And then destroys everyone. His iconic line is Booker, by the way. Book, as in book. Because he wanted to learn how to read, I guess. As I say, you have to use flat basic shapes in order to build up drawings, which is why I'm using simple triangles and such. I'm giving him like rapping, like the types of martial artists use, because he's a monk. But if I remember correctly, Grung just did not have any of that sort of... No, wait, he did wrap his hands before and after battle, but I think that was mainly because it's a mechanic in the game. Realistically, the way Grung was introduced into the game, he just sort of had nothing, was trapped and a prisoner, and just sort of coasted by existing and just spent his time learning how to be human from the entire non-human, mostly Fey group. It's quite fun. I hope it's not too much of a faux pas that I'm discussing the game, but it was quite a fun time. My first ever D&D campaign. I had a lot of fun with everyone who was playing it. We do have another game lined up in the future, which I'm very much looking forward to, which I've been designing a character for. I've got most of the character sheet down. Mostly at this point just like finalizing a lot of the design sheets, character sheets and all that. Ooh, I forgot about that. Okay, let's put you into the little folder so that I can move you around on your own. Wow, look at that, look at that, look, he's going. Wow, that little gibberish there I did was not worth it. I just hurt my throat more than anything. Now let's see. The guy who was Grung was his character. He gave me a concept to draw for the character. I'm not going to bring it up on stream for obvious reasons, something privacy or whatever, but his prompt for Grung, after single-handedly winning the entire vote, order at a drive-through, but he's just peering over the order window. Now I've already thought up a bit of that. Let's see how good I am at just quickly roughing out. Sorry, I losing train of thought. Let's see how good I am at roughing out a quick little drive-through window. There's the footpath. There's the building. Wow, it's the gutter. Everyone loves gutters, right? Let's see. Let's just disable the ruler for a moment here. So I can just do a slanted... Ba-bam, there we go. Perfect, it's like nothing you've ever seen before. I should probably bring up reference, actually. I've been to a drive-through many a time, but now that I actually have to think about making one, I can't remember what in the world they actually look like. Which is always a fun thing. I see. I've had 2 views so far. Average view duration, 26 seconds. Wow, that is bad. I really need to step up my game, I suppose. I mean, this is meant to just be a rough. This window might be a bit big, actually. I'll adjust that in a moment. I know it's normally like half windows. I think in America it's half windows. No, I've seen videos where it's America and it's not half windows. It's just... I don't know what I'm going on about. I'm going, simply, I am shrimply going insane. Let's make that a smaller window. Maybe make it a little bit taller. There we go. Now, uh, customer. Not customer, worker. I don't know what I'm doing with this composition. You know, something else I don't know what I'm doing. Character design for just like random people. I notice a lot of the time when I draw characters, I tend to just give them mullets. Which is funny because like, you'd think that's like, oh, it's like a, just like a draw what you know thing. No, I've never had a mullet, I don't think. I don't really know many people who have mullets. A few people I do know who have mullets, they only had them for a little while. I think it's just like an easy hairstyle to draw, at least for me. And so like a lot of my characters I draw, especially human characters, tend to just get incredibly basic mullet hairstyles. Very undetailed face there, but hey, it's what we're doing, or something, I guess. Might have to turn this music down, it's getting a little bit loud. Incredible song though. Incredible raid. Hey, if anyone wants to play Destiny 2, I won't play with you because I have severe social anxiety, but I do recommend playing through the raids if you ever get the chance. Because no matter the poor quality of the game in general, as has been the case fairly recently, and fairly frequently, the raids and dungeons in the game tend to be like some of the best content like I've ever experienced in a video game. Like just the mechanics and the visuals and the music, just everything, all the storytelling in it. Some of the top tier gaming. Of course, it's second to a lot of stuff in like other games, maybe like Final Fantasy 14 or whatever. I mean, I've played a lot of Final Fantasy 14. Love a lot of their raids and dungeons. Though after a while, they sort of get a bit samey. Yeah. Good game though, really good game. I might actually play some of that later on. Yeah, you know what? Yeah, I'll do a bit of this sketch of Grung. And then, maybe I'll draw a little bit of Hornet. And play some Final Fantasy 14. Not really liking how this is turning out, to be honest. I probably shouldn't be so sketchy about this sketch, but like, I don't know, I find if I don't do something like near perfect the first time or two, then I tend to get stuck in my own head and never get anything done. Let's see. What do you have in a drive-through? Let's just menu system. Menu system? No, they're just menus, you fool. They're not a system. Wah, 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 wah. Now just $10 off. Burger. That was profoundly unfunny, and I apologize to whoever viewer has hopped in to hear that trash, and I would not blame you whatsoever if you immediately left. I don't know why I'm so obsessive over just very tiny details. This is like not even anything like a drive-through sign, aside from being a big rectangle with pictures on it, and even then it doesn't even have pictures yet. Oh my god, it's 3D now. It's worth something. Truly remarkable. And isn't it just incredible what perspective can do for a drawing? There we go. 3D building. Very short building. Very short. But it sort of makes sense now. Because before, the way it was set up was just, this was a flat building, and then little grung fella was just hanging out around here. Which is like, there's not much implication of a drive-through, but if I do this here, fill in the empty space with just a bunch of crap. Now it looks like it's driving in from here instead of from here. I guess, maybe. I mean, the easiest way to, like, sort that out is just to draw a car, of which I'm not very good at, to be quite honest. I'm not sure how many people watch my YouTube channel who also watch my streams. Streams? No. Not sure how many people watch my YouTube channel who actually also glance every now and then at my socials. I have a fair few drawings in my portfolio and such that tend to have, like, when they do include cars, they're not very well drawn. They're just sort of like, they're very, not primary school coded, because primary school is like, that's just a block with some wheels, maybe. But it's, a lot of my drawings of vehicles tend to be incredibly basic, just, I guess, implications of detail. Which I guess, hey, technically all drawings are implications of detail. But, like, I really don't like doing more than I have to with cars because I find them so difficult to deal with when drawing. Might also contribute to why I don't drive cars. Yes, I'm one of those cool people who is only on my learners and has been on my learners for 10 years. Sorry, this is not a therapy session. Not that is even... God, can you imagine bringing that up at therapy? You book a therapy session. You go on about, like, yeah, it's some major stuff this time around, doctor. Incredibly important stuff. I'm not sure if I'll be able to handle it. It's truly got me in a bind. And then you go in and then you say to your doctor, yeah, no, it's not suicide. What? No, it's, I am on my learners. I can't drive a car. And then you therapist just has to look at you like, I have to be nice to you, but also what the fuck? And that's how you expertly lose your own train of thought. Because you're driving a car. Drawing. No, I don't drive cars. But I mean meaning to. Not to dox myself, but I live in the middle of nowhere, so it's kind of important for me to know how to drive a car. Nearest bus stop is like an hour away by bike. Alright, let's just... Oh no! The window! It's broken! No, it's on the same layer as this, but there's an easy fix to that. Just cut and paste. Now I can put the car in its own little layer. I know there's a far simpler way for me to just take this car and use it to cut out the mask of the underground. Actually, I might give that a go just to see if I can get used to it. So when I do it like that, if I go onto this thing, which has most of the detail, if I go, actually just throw it into its own folder in general, and then I create a mask, yes, it works. Okay, so I might do that, select that, expand the selection by a bit so it goes into the line art, and then create the mask. There we go. The way I'm starting to notice the way I drew this little character here. It seems to be his head is here. I was more intending on like having his head like be sitting up like that, which that does kind of. Actually, yeah, that doesn't look too bad. I'll just go with that. I might have to bring in some reference of frogs. Let me just look it up on Google. Frog. Okay, so their eyes are fairly bulbous. What do they look like from behind? Frog. Back view. Okay, so their eyes do poke out fairly large. So okay, yep, there we go. Oh my god. Oh, apologies for the coughing. I imagine that was not very fun to listen to with the peaking audio. But good lord, this is already quite funny. You know, if I can allow myself to brag a little bit, I might have to adjust it a little bit though. I just hit a duplicate so the original is always there. Because I want it to be that he's sort of just hanging there, right, looking over. I guess the easiest way to do that is to just like take the rest of the environment around and just sort of lift it up, building in that. Which was very clever of me to include all of this in the one thing, so let me just take that, but damn. Copy paste. Da-da-da. Find where this is. I really should have been doing all of these on like their own little sketches, probably their own little folders, so I can adjust them like this. Where's the guy? Throw him in there. Throw him in there. And okay, I see the problem now. In my foolishness, I was just adjusting all of that. I need to adjust the guy in the window specifically only, which that was my original plan. I don't know how I forgot that. Well, I don't know how I forgot it. I'm quite forgetful. But there we go. No need to adjust the rest of the background or grung. For grung is now just there, just sort of hanging and just trying his best to look over the counter. I might have to adjust the fella in here so he's I guess looking down at Grung. Of course not looking down at him. Grung's a better person than most of us will ever be. But I mean literally looking down towards him. Da da da. Of course we got eye bags. Iconic trait for most any underpaid worker. Or, you know, just anyone with any sort of sleeping issues, really. Don't know why I have to clarify that. Felt the need to. I don't know. They say when you stream you need to be talking a lot, so I'm trying to not let the I'm trying to not let everything go too silent for a bit, even though I've got the music as like a backup. I say backup. Yeah, it is mostly just like fill the air for when I eventually just forget I'm streaming a little bit later and just draw in silence. Which I hope doesn't happen. Last thing I want is to forget I'm streaming and then just like open up a bunch of projects that I've been working on that I was like hoping to keep secret. Case in point, mentioned it earlier, like my D&D character design. Like, literally the only person who has seen that is my DM. I would very much like to keep it that way until the game actually starts, at which point I will probably post that character art and a lot of other things to my accounts. Yeah, I don't know what I was going to say there, so I've just kind of forgotten. Yeah, let's give him a little hand holding onto the window. And maybe a little bit of skin there. Yeah, there we go. Perfect. Now let's just mask, erase that. Of course, when you, for those not in the know, when you mask erase something in a drawing, it doesn't really get removed because you can just switch to a different pen and reveal it. I tend to use that a lot for drawings. Probably shouldn't be going so overboard on the sketch, but I like going overboard on sketches. Because then, if it's good enough, I don't need to make the whole drawing. It's a very cop-out thing to say, but... Oh, what am I doing? He's working at a fast food joint. They all get collared shirts. And a little name tag. There you go, your name's Bill. Nice to meet you, Bill. I'm doing all this and I never even filled out the menu. What's he gonna order from here? Chips. Very disproportionately sized chips. You never know what you're gonna get. It's like that Forrest Gump movie or whatever. I watched that many years ago. Then burger wire. Kind of looks like a character of its own, like a little robot of some sort. Or just there we go. Now it's a real burger. It's got cheese in the middle. What else? What else? What else? What else do they serve? Chicken nuggets. You know, probably a very bad menu, this one. Doesn't even say what anything costs. That's good enough. It's a sketch. It doesn't need to be impressive. You know, yeah, it doesn't need to be impressive. So I just... Okay, as I say that, and I just, like, micromanage the drawing of a straw. Straw. Coffee cup. Everyone loves coffee. You know what? In this universe, okay, these aren't M's. This isn't McDonald's. This is children's drawing of a seagull. The fast food place. Okay, yeah, children's drawing of a seagull. So let me draw a mascot here. Lovely little seagull. And that was a Okay, I'm not sure if that would have picked up in the microphone, but I just had a very disconcerting noise from my 3D printer. So I'll just quickly draw that silly guy's wing, mute myself, and go check out to make sure nothing just destroyed itself. Okay, nothing destroyed itself, it's just a very temperamental machine. Ooh, you love to see it. Let's see, where was I? Seagull, yes. The very, very obvious, very, very real seagull. Definitely a real seagull look like. Let's see. Gull, what I should do next. What do you look like, fella? What do you... What am I'm talking to no one. What am I actually doing? Burgers, coffee, chips, drink. What else do they serve at McDonald's? I've already drawn nuggets. They sell muffins, which are just burgers, but with different bread. There we go, muffin. Bam! Whoa, I'm a real artist! Aren't you proud of me? Fuck. "3 years of university. Now I'm a real man, because I can draw vague burgers. Hell yeah. Sandwich, why not? Sandwich cut into triangles. What? Triangles. God, I don't know why my voice is so buggered right. 3D printer keeps making noises, man. It's gonna give me a heart attack. There we go. Sandwich bread. Bow, bow, bow. Bow, 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 bow. That's the theme song to the joint. Bow, 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 bow. It's like McDonald's. I'm loving it, but more. Man, I am tired. It's like the McDonald's thing, but it's more complicated and more annoying. The sort of thing that no one can remember because I can't, and I said it. Now let's go into my favorite practice of putting many folders in many folders and forgetting to label them because it doesn't matter. And let's draw a more detailed grung. Now, I do have some old drawings of grung that I might bring up for a moment within the drawing software to sort of get the referencing. Music. Very loud. Where was grung? Grung! Grung! I can't show that. Oh no. Oh no. Aw. There he is. Isn't he just the greatest? Out of all the characters in that campaign, easily my favorite. I drew him more than I drew anyone else's characters. Ah, yeah, some older drawings. Look at him go! Epic grung moment. Yes, I'm very funny like that. Oh yeah, I used to be alright at character design. Yeah, and there he is, just chilling on a bench. Love to see it. Love these little critters. Booga. I've lost those images in the folder, which I was going to use I can't speak. I was going to use it as reference. This was a fun moment in the campaign. One of the player characters trying to take the book off of Grung, and he just does not let go. just sort of hangs there. He wants his book. Good times. Good times. Well, this is completely unrelated, but I've just found another sketch I really like. From like June of last year. Deltarune. Susie annihilating Rousey, getting ready to crush his skull. Anyway, that doesn't matter. I'm drawing Grung. I need to stop getting distracted. Alright, probably use this one as reference. No, actually, probably this one. Yeah. I'll use this one as reference. Just throw that off on the side thing. Covers up one of the streaming tabs I'm using. So, I won't be able to see chat in one of them. I don't know which one's not up to date. Not that people are really chatting anyway. This is entirely just a test of the streaming features. I tend to talk a lot, I've noticed, when I'm talking to myself to a stream. Oh. And now I'm frozen upon seeing a message. Hello! Welcome to the stream. I'm not sure if that message has been there for a while. I apologize if I missed it. Of course, I say this is a test of the stream, and I have said earlier it's a test of the stream capabilities. Also very much a test of if I can hack it. Streaming, presenting, whatever. This is probably not the best way to like rough out sketches of a character, but that's all that. I'll just lower the opacity on that so I can get a better idea of what I'm looking at while drawing Grung's little hands. That doesn't really make sense. Like you'd be probably. What does it look like when someone whips like that? I guess that's kind of accurate. Hello. Hi. Hi to the chat. Of course, I'm now silent. Ah, goodness. I need to really get over a lot of my anxieties if I want to keep streaming. But welcome to the chat. / stream, whatever. I'm not sure how long you've been in, because I've got a picture up as reference, and that's covering up a couple of the analytics for the stream. So I'm not sure how long you may have been here, but this is a test stream I'm doing to mostly test capabilities of like streaming, just in general, of like if I'm able to like set everything up proper, and then also just to see how presentable I can be, because I hope in future to stream a bit more maybe of just a lot of art stuff in general. Or even non-art stuff. What am I drawing? Currently, I am drawing, I guess it's, the character is a Grung. So, Grung is a frog creature in D&D, if you're familiar. If you're familiar, well, I guess if you're familiar, you'd probably already know. But I did a poll in the last day or so, asking people, hey, what should I draw? And Grung won by a landslide. And it's based mostly off of a character from a D&D game that I was involved in a while back. And the little environment he's in right now is, upon request, Grung just sort of hanging out at a drive-through, just sort of trying to peek over the top of the order window, trying to order. Because it was sort of in the campaign, the player who played him very much like a funny little mischievous character, which also led to the, because like the race of creatures, frog creatures, are known as Grung, and so part of his gimmick was his character was also named Grung because he didn't really know much about the world or how to read, I guess, in general. I hope that was a good enough description. If you got any more questions, let me know any more. If you're still here, you may have heard it, but I'm kind of missing some of the analytics because of I'm using some images as reference on another monitor, which sort of like makes things a bit confusing. Pay no mind that I just waved my hands in real life to demonstrate something which I literally cannot demonstrate because I'm using a friggin' VTuber instead of actually a webcam. Alright, so where was I? Hands. Yeah, it's funny, this character of Grung, from the campaign, I drew a lot of art of the campaign, a lot of it like rough sketches. It became a bit of a meme at some point. I ended up drawing a bunch of MS Paint, specifically like sort of intentionally bad drawing rough sketches of things as they were happening in the campaign. Yeah, I cannot possibly begin to count the amount of times where I've like motioned to just oh, excuse me, just done all sorts of like motions or just air quotes or anything, that sort of thing, talking to someone with no webcam or whatever. It's embarrassing, but it's good to know that it's not just a me thing. I have some sort of excuse. It doesn't make much sense for the angle, but I want to try and get a little bit of expression in. I'm realizing now the way I'm drawing this sort of, he's got like a blue markings on his forehead, at least the way I draw him. But that sort of like makes him look like he's got 3 eyes, or it makes the eyes on here look less like actual eyes. So I might just do exactly what I did, but a little bit lighter. And I guess it's just a sketch at this point, so I might just add some highlights to the eye to make it a little bit clearer to the eye that they are eyes, I guess. Quite silly. There's not really a way I can draw his expression here and not make it look really weird. It's quite funny, actually. A thought that just occurred to me. Whenever I drew a lot of this character, I think I mentioned it already, and if I've forgotten I mentioned it, that's, yeah, just God, I'm so tired. I've been awake for so long. But um, a funny thing about this character is that I did not realize until well after the campaign was over that lore-wise, this little Grung character was like nude the entire time. Like he was a monk, so whenever I drew the character, I always drew him like in like monk robes, and it's like. I don't even know what I'm saying. God, thought I was gonna deal with this a lot better, but god damn, am I tired? Oh, it's 10:51. Yeah, that'll do it. 10:51 in Australia, at least. Not sure how so wherever else in the world. I suppose I should clarify. 10:50 p.m. Like I almost said almost midnight, but it's at least an hour before midnight. Alright, let's see. Line up the hands. Do a little bit of masking to sort of hide the other bits of drawing. Ugh. Not the best. Let's see how I can fix this maybe. Might just be able to... I might just have to forego the dots, or at least make them less. Whatever. Might have to... Now it doesn't really do anything. Might have to adjust this actually. Hands? No, do a little cheat there and add an extra finger. I actually don't remember how many fingers Grung are meant to have. I'm sure it's fine. It's just a sketch. It doesn't need to be impressive. Charming little fella. Okay, I really need to get better at organizing all my layers and such. This is just getting a little unwieldy, and I've shoved everything in like 5-10 different folders, which I will continue to do, of course, because why not? I'll remove this little reference, since I don't need it anymore, and just sort of, I guess, drop a little bit more of a... Well, it's not railing. The little ledge off of windows at drive-thrus. I could just draw a straight line, but jagged lines add character or something? I don't know. If I do it like this though, I guess it looks a little bit more worn down. A bit more familiar of a feeling, I would imagine, for a lot of drive-through lines. Drive-through line? I don't even know what I'm saying. Drive-through windows, I've noticed, tend to be fairly decrepit. Even ones that you just like sort of run into for like the first time. You can go to a fresh, brand new, freshly built place, and already it'll look like someone's burnt out like 10 cigarettes on the side and taken a hammer to like all 4 of the corners, or just like done some sort of messing around with it. Window frames tend to be a bit straight anyway, so I'll just like cheat mode that. Might bring that in a little bit. I could draw another frame, but I could cheat mode this as well, even more. Bam. Easy window. Just copy and paste and shrink. And just like do a bunch of straight lines because it doesn't need to be perfect. And it's more or less exactly the same as the drawing that's underneath it. So I might add a couple of extra details. There we go. More detail. A latch that looks real and definitely holds up to any scrutiny. And yeah, let's do a little frame there with like a roller door slide. And the other end of the window, which contains the other end of the latch. Hell yeah. It's looking like a real building now. I'm not sure how much detail I want to add to the rest of the background at this point, since it has been, I actually don't know how long I've been streaming. Oh, I was looking everywhere except the number. 56 minutes. Nice. Longer than I thought I would be, to be quite honest. Oh. I need to mask out the ledge so he's not getting his poor little head cut through with the corner. Very nice. Dare I say, better than the Mona Lisa? Of course not. I save the ego for when I have $5 billion. I might just throw this fella into his own little folder. Again, should be naming it. Will name it. Just name him fella, why not? His arm. There we go. Throw him out there. Alright, now that's the whole building there. God, good lord, what a really messy sketch. All the different line widths and everything. Oh well. I need to keep reminding myself, does not need to be perfect. I'll just copy the lines here a little. Might increase the thickness a little bit. And draw a little bit of a... There we go. I need to stop like saying things like halfway and then not saying them. It's a bad habit. Especially when you're trying to explain things to people. Cannot be good talking to someone and you're like, yeah, so this is a... And that's what you do with it. I don't know why I'm adding like... I did it again. I don't know why I'm adding like little pipe holder things. Largely unnecessary. I suppose this detail is also largely unnecessary. But, is it? Because it implies there is a roof. I am a genius. I say as I miss the new layer button. Well, I might actually take this chance to make the building a little bit taller. And add a little bit of a... curb to the building. That sort of shows the implication better of the little grung holding on for dear life above the yeah, holding on for dear life to the windowsill so he doesn't fall the devastating half a centimeter to the floor. 3D printer just made another very unnerving noise, for which I will mute and go make sure nothing broke. And nothing did break. I am quite remarkable for checking that nothing was broken, I guess. Who knows. In any case... Oh, silly me, that completely destroys the perspective I've built up. Okay, I guess easy solution, just if I want to keep the distance... There we go, easy. Just extend the floor. Extend the floor. Yes. Yeah, get a bit of grass in there. I'd say that is a fairly average sketch. Oh, that's the background. Where did I put the rest of the house? House? Fast food place. There we go. Now let's see. Implication of detail is always better than overfilling with detail, so I'll just imply some bricks. Doesn't need to be perfect. That's what I keep reminding myself. That printer is making very scary noises again. I should probably adjust its settings the next time I decide to spend a long time printing something. You know, I suppose this could also work as like an implication of, I don't know, paint or drywall scraping off. So, let's just do that. And then everyone knows it is a true-to-life fast food place. Just completely crumbling at the seams. Of course, you're still expected to come in on the Monday. The building may be literally splitting in half at the middle, but there is work to be done. Actually, it quite reminds me of a neighbour I had whose house was quite literally splitting down the middle. Literally, the ground below was too soft, so it just started shifting apart. Which, conveniently enough, was not covered by the landlord. At least I don't think it was. I think it's something that they were meant to deal with, but they didn't. Oh well. They're long moved out of that place now in a better spot, so... You know what, let's finish it off with some neat little details. Divider lines. As if the drive-through was a main road for some reason. But it doesn't matter, it's detail. And people won't be scrutinizing this, will they? It's just a frog person grasping at windows. not the application. The application, the OS. In any case, stream's been going for an hour. Can well and truly say that it works. I don't know, it's 11 o'clock in my time zone, so I should probably try and get to sleep at some point. Or I could play video games for another hour. Such are the choices of an unemployed artist. Artist. What a fancy word I like to call myself. Sleep is important. Yeah, you know what? I do believe I shall sleep. Well, thank you to everyone who has shown up to the stream. I'm not sure what else people say, I guess. But wherever you are in the world, good morning, good night, good day, good whatever. And I hope whoever, not just whoever, everyone, I just hope everyone has a good whatever. Thank you for tuning in. Oh, that's it. That's the whole phrase for it. Have a good one.